It is the Battle of the Big Apple as the New York Jets and New York Giants face off this Sunday at MetLife Stadium. Let's preview the game right now. And welcome back to New York Sports WickerMedia. I'm Adam, aka Watts2K99. Thank you as always for taking the time to watch these videos. Man, I'm looking forward to this Giants-Jets showdown at MetLife Stadium this Sunday at 1 o'clock. Giants will be the home team. They are 2-5 coming off a beating of the Washington Commandskins 14-7. I went up to Richmond to watch the game. I really wanted to zone in on what the Giants were doing and how they were playing the game. And the truth is, I think they should have beat Washington by a whole lot more than they did. But let's get into these matchups right now. We're going to start when the New York Jets offense has the ball against the Giants defense. So, the Giants D has been showing some signs of life in these last 2 weeks. They've got a fantastic combination at defensive tackle between Dexterlawrence, number 97, and the ex-Jet Leonard Williams, number 99. Between them, they have just 3.5 sacks, but usually they're playing in a 3-4 defense, so most of your pressure is coming from the edge, from the outside, not so much up the middle. But Dexterlawrence has 29 pressures. That's the second most in the league among defensive tackles behind the Eagles' Jalen Carter. And then you have Kayvon Thibodeau, probably the biggest pass rushing threat the Giants have to offer. Number 5 has 5.5 sacks with 5 tackles for a loss. Seems to be a pattern of 5s here. But that said, one of the things the Jets can do is to run the ball in his direction. He is very prone to struggling in that area, as is the Giants' defense. The New York Giants' defense per game is allowing 137 yards per game on the ground. 137, that's the 6th worst mark in the NFL. They're also allowing 5 yards per run. So this is not a situation where they're getting beat by volume, by multiple rushes. They're allowing 5 yards per run. Now, they are pretty good at linebacker. You've got bobbyokereke, and I've heard about 9 different ways to pronounce it, but apparently it is Okereke. Number 58, he has a team-high 64 tackles, 5 tackles for a loss, 6 passes defensed, and 2 forced fumbles. So he is playing very well as of late. Then you've got Micah McFadden, number 41, second-year linebacker who's been piling up tackles. He's got 43 tackles, including 5 tackles for a loss again. And then in the secondary, you've got Adoree Jackson, the veteran, number 28. He's expected to be back at quarterback for this game. He did not play last week against Washington. But Deontebanks is a player to watch. Number 25, the first-round quarterback pick from the University of Maryland. He has allowed only 50% of the passes, with him as the nearest defender, to be completed. So I just have this feeling that they're going to put Banks on Garrett Wilson. And let's see if he can handle Garrett one-on-one. But Banks also he also ruffled a few feathers when he said, quote, about the Jets offense, quote, to be honest, I can't name a single player on that offense. Well, let's see how that goes Sunday by about 4:30. Now, in safety, you've got jasonpinnock, number 27, the Jets' ex-safety. He had a pick-6 return earlier this year. Xavier McKinney, also a very good safety. But let's talk strategy here. Okay, going into this game, the Giants have 5 sacks in just 6 games. That was going into the Washington game. They had 5 more sacks against Washington alone. They doubled their total in 1 game. Now, I'm not overly worried about it because there is no team in the NFL that allows more sacks than Washington. I know the Jets' offensive line has been kind of up and down, but I think it's going to be a challenge for them to do that against the Jets. But defensive coordinator Wink Martindale, he will probably do everything he can to confuse Zach Wilson with these exotic creative blitzes. Okay? The Giants blitz 41% of the time. That's the 3rd highest rate in football. Compare that to the Jets, who blitz just 18% of the time, the 2nd lowest rate in football. But here's the thing. The Giants are generating pressure just 21% of the time on those blitzes. That's just 20th in the league. But the Jets' O-line, without several starters, they're going to have to be on their game here. And this is an opportunity to use Breecehall. When the Giants are sending 5-6 blitzers, then maybe you have Breecehall or even a Michael Carter or a tight end sneaking their way out of the backfield, even Nick Bawden. And I'll tell you what, if Breece in particular can do that with, only 5, if half the Giants' defense is blitzing, then who knows? Breece might be able to take one to the house. It's very possible. Now, the Giants also have a very good third down defense. They held Washington to 1 for 13 on third downs last week. And if you've ever been here before, you know how much I talk about the third down woes of the Jets. They rank 32nd, the Jets do, with a third down conversion rate of 25%. So here's the thing. The Jets cannot afford their usual 3rd and 8s or 3rd and 10s because that would play perfectly into the hands of the Giants' aggressive pass rush. So Jets have to make, if you're going to get to third down, you want to make it 3rd and manageable, like 3rd and 1, 2, and 3, and so on. Not 3rd and 10 or whatever, where the defense pretty much knows that Zach Wilson's going to try to throw the ball. So that's the deal with when the Jets have the ball against the Giants. Now let's do what we always do. We're gonna flip the script when the Giants offense has the ball against the Jets defense. Well, the Giants offense, it's not much to write home about. They're averaging 278 yards per game, 4th worst in the league. By the way, the Jets are 3rd worst in the league with yards gained, but we won't talk about that. But the Giants are scoring a league low 12.1 points per game. They're 29th with just 178 passing yards per game. In the red zone, just 33% of their trips end in touchdowns. Not good at all. So what's been the problem? It's really about the offensive line. They have, according to Next Gen Stats, the worst graded run blocking and the worst graded pass blocking in the league. In the league, they've allowed 37 sacks. Their quarterbacks are getting sacked on over 13% of dropbacks. That's the highest in the NFL as well. And as far as personnel, they had to sign Tyree Phillips off the practice squad of the Eagles, and last week they started him at right tackle right away. And strangely, they probably had their best game of the season against Washington, allowing just 7 pressures, and that's not bad because Washington does have a very good front four. But the Giants' offensive line still has questions. Right guard Shane Lemieux is on injured reserve. Even backups like Josh Azidu and Wyatt Davis are on injured reserve. Justin Pugh, number 67, the whole straight off the couch thing. He's settling in after coming back from retirement a few weeks ago. He will play left tackle in this game because incumbent tackle Andrew Thomas, number 78, in my mind, one of the best in football. He is doubtful. He's missed 6 games due to a hamstring injury, which actually got re-injured at one point. And here's the deal. When you're doubtful, you're not playing. So Andrew Thomas will not play. That's going to be a big help for the Jets. Their rookie center, John-Michael-Schmitz, he should be back at center. He's been dealing with a shoulder injury. As of now, he's questionable. Now, a couple other pieces on this line I'll be watching for. Marcus McKeithen, number 60, he's been playing right guard. He is the lowest ranked guard in the NFL in pass protection. So that's somebody who I hope actually plays, but I think it's going to be Mark Lewinsky, number 64. He's going to move back to right guard. Last week he played center in place of John-Michael-Schmitz, and Glowinski is more of a guard than he is a center. So I think that's going to help the Giants at multiple positions if Schmitz does play. And Evan Neal, their right tackle from Alabama, number 73, he's working his way back from an ankle injury. It's not sure as of yet if he's playing, but he has allowed a ridiculous 29 pressures in 278 pass blocking snaps when he was playing. When he does play, he stinks. When he's healthy, he stinks. If the Giants actually allow Evan Neal to try to block Bryce Huff one-on-one, guys, it's most likely game, set, match. Now, with the skill position players, the Giants' most dynamic weapon is Saquonbarkley, number 26. He's back after missing a month with a high ankle sprain, played last week against Washington. Now, the Jets are giving up 135 rushing yards per game. So the Giants should be daring the Jets to find a way to stop Barkley, whether that is running with him or throwing a pass to him out of the backfield. And then at tight end, you've got Darren Waller, who came over from the Raiders, number 12. He's got 35 catches for 380 yards. That's the third most receiving yards among tight ends. He scored his first touchdown last week. While he's still a very good threat, I don't think he's really had the opportunities to succeed that a lot of Giants fans want him to. He hasn't been getting targeted all that much. Waller's a very good tight end, but he's a great tight end when he has a very good wide receiver playing alongside him. He didn't have that here with the Giants. So it's going to be interesting to see how the Jets try to cover Waller. Even though I would say Waller's their most dangerous weapon as far as a receiver or tight end goes, I wouldn't put Sauce or DJ near him, because Sauce and DJ, great as they are, they've allowed 9 of 9 targets to be caught when they're covering tight ends this season. So I would try it first with maybe a Tony Adams, see if that works. Jordan Whitehead, I don't trust in that one-on-one tight coverage. He has this tendency to over-pursue. So let's see if Tony Adams can handle Darren Waller. Now, and wide receiver, Darius Slayton, number 86, has 5 plays of 20 yards or more. More has been expected from Jalen Hyatt, rookie wide receiver, number 13, but he did have 2 catches last week for 75 yards total. So he's got some big play potential. All right, now I'm going to get into the quarterback, and I wanted to talk about all these other positions before I got into the quarterback, because I wanted to give you all a feel for what these quarterbacks are really working with. Now, Daniel Jones will not play in this game. He still has a neck injury. He's been sacked 28 times in 5 games. There's really no word on when he's going to be able to play again. He has not been cleared for contact. It's going to take a while. So it's going to be 34-year-old backup TyrodTaylor, who has played 2 games already for the Giants, led them to the win last week. And we all know the Jets have struggled covering mobile quarterbacks, whether it's Russell Wilson, Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes, even Jalen Hurts. Now, Taylor is not as mobile as he used to be. He is 34 years old. He's not going to get the straight line speed that Daniel Jones gets. When Jones is running, he's running in a straight line, he could hit 20 plus miles per hour. But here's the thing with Taylor. He's more slippery in the pocket. He doesn't have the straightaway speed, but it might be harder to take him down when you get your hands on him. Okay? He's got more poise than Daniel Jones does. He's not likely to turn the football over. He knows what to do with the football. Now, granted, TyrodTaylor has been playing with Saquon Jones missed Barkley for most of the season. Jones didn't have Barkley to help him. Okay? And another thing, Taylor has been a much more successful thrower of the deep ball than Daniel Jones. So Jones attempted 9 passes this year over 20 yards, completed just 2 of them. TyrodTaylor has attempted 11 passes over 20 yards. He's completed 5. All right, so expect the Giants to try to take some shots down the field. So the fact that Sauce, DJ, and Eccles are all returning, that is going to be important. But I wouldn't be surprised to see Taylor try to test one of them early to see if they can hit a big play and get some quick points. The Jets need to do what they do on defense. Create pressure, but they got to tackle effectively. That especially means Barkley, and that means Darren Waller as well. All right, let's give you some other game notes real quick. The forecast is calling for rain, 80% chance of rain for this game, but not much wind, so it's going to be like a warm day with some rain. Special teams is going to be big in this game. Now, the Jets have been great at stopping returners. They're allowing about 6 yards per kick and per punt, but couple things to factor in. Justin Hardy, still on injured reserve, who's usually their gunner down the field. He won't play. Irv Charles, who's kind of taken over that spot, he's not likely to play with a shoulder injury. So what are the Jets going to do in terms of coverage? Let's see what happens. But the Giants special teams, not doing well at all. Now, they got a veteran kicker in Grahamgano, who's traditionally very accurate. He has made only 10 of 14 field goals this year, and their return game has been very, very spotty. They tried Eric Gray, the rookie. He's muffed several punts already. He was just placed on injured reserve. They plugged in Sterling Shepard. They plugged in Paris Campbell. They just signed a guy named Jashawn Corbin off the Panthers practice squad as a depth running back and returner option. So the Giants are signing a player off the practice squad of the one team in the NFL that hasn't won a game yet. My goodness. And this week they also signed Gunnar Olszewski, the former Patriot. He may actually be doing the returning this week. All right. And the Jets have won 2 straight meetings against the Giants after losing 5 in a row. But here's the thing. Here's what I need to see from the Jets. They are notoriously slow starters on both sides of the ball. Okay? If you go back to 2021, All right, the Jets own, and I'm including the Robert Saleh era here. The Jets have the league's worst point differential for the first quarter. They are minus 101 points in the first quarter. Yuck. And in fact, they trailed at halftime in every game this season, even though they're 3-3, and they also tend to struggle coming out of the bye week. The last time the Jets won a game after the bye week was 2015, also the last time they finished above 500. So Robert Saleh has said they're trying a different routine, a different schedule. We don't know all the details, but let's see if the Jets can come out to a quick start, get ahead, and put some doubt inside the mind of the New York Giants. Because in my mind, the Jets are the more talented team. They're the better team. I think the most important thing to have happen is the Jets' offensive line blocks effectively. If they do that, I really believe the Jets are going to win. The Giants are going to be living on confusing Zach Wilson into mistakes and into turnovers. And if they can't do that, I think this is a Jets victory. Well, a few notes for my Virginia Jets fans club. We'll be at AJ Gators, 1 o'clock. We will be having a raffle. So it's Halloween, so come wearing a costume and you will get a free raffle ticket to win a very special prize. And I'm here to show it to you right now. Look at this. We got a little Super Bowl III memento here with the schedule. We got a game ticket here. So this could be yours. There's no cost for this raffle, guys. So just show up wearing the costume and you get one raffle ticket, and then we'll pull the ticket. Whoever gets it, they win that beautiful picture. All right, everybody. Thanks, everybody, for watching. Virginia Jets fans, I'll see you Sunday, and I'll see all of you right back here with more content from you know where. The Wicker Chair.